3, 2, 1, go!
Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to an anime review. I have not done an episode 1 review. I have not done an episode review in weeks, maybe months now. But of course, the one series that I talked about that I really wanted to try to do episode reviews again for would be Sword Art Online Season 3, otherwise known as Sword Art Alicization Arc. Now, I'm going to, by the way, butcher that name. It's Alicization Arc, which is really hard for me to say for some reason. So I apologize in advance for that. You know, I should say just say Season 3, but it's with Sword Art, it's kind of all over the place because if you think about it, it's not the third season of Sword Art, but technically it is the third season at the same time. Because I mean, you can't like Season 2 is kind of split into the multiple parts, so for some people it's not really, So Season 3 though is really the definitive thing. If you really want to go into, the actual concept of it, it's Season 3. But as you guys know, Sword Art is a series that I have a love-hate relationship with. Well, more like a love/dislike relationship with. I don't say hate. The anime for Sword Art, the first season, I love. Not all of it, but like the first 8 or 9 episodes, I loved of Sword Art. It's after that when we start getting into this kind of meh territory. And then it picks up again, but then when it goes to Fairy Dance, which is still part of the first season, I have an issue with it. And then Gun Gale Online, which is the second season of Sword Art technically, it kind of goes up and down from there. Gun Gale Online was kind of cool. I like the concepts of it. Mother Zario was a cool part of it. We got the kind of whole side story thing, which kind of ties in very well with this whole new season of Sword Art. But, it's definitely been one of this anime that you love or hate. It's like up and down everywhere. The light novel series, however, is something I've actually just loved. I really love the light novel series for Sword Art. If you guys can see behind me, it's like small, probably like over there, technically. I own almost 99% of the Sword Art Online light novel series. I think I'm missing only one book, which is more of the Alicization arc. I'm missing, I think, 14. But the thing is I love the light novel series, as I just said, and I even love the progressive series, which is kind of a extra story added onto it, which focuses on stuff untold from Sword Art Online Season 1, technically. But I digress from that. That's why I've been stoked for Alicization Arc, because it's something that it brings it back to a very similar theme of the very first season. Not exactly, mind you, but very close to it, and it does it in a very interesting way with this whole new system that it's going to play. Well, Episode 1, which didn't go into it because it only kind of, I want to say, scratched the surface of what we're about to expect. And for some of you might be a little confused on what you're seeing in the very first episode. I'll kind of explain it without spoiling it, because like I said, I'm if anything, the whole maybe first 24 episodes of Sword Art, I'm probably going to know everything that's going to happen, because I'm up to that part in light novels if they follow a certain theme with it. Because, case in point, the very first episode is 47 minutes long, and it's probably the first half of the first volume, to be honest with you. Maybe like 85% of the first volume, but there's still a decent amount that can go into it from here. But the thing of the day is that I am gonna know if they keep doing it the way they're doing it right now. I'm gonna be caught up to it until until the light novels stop, the ones of American releases, and the anime series keeps going on. So, until then, I'm gonna know what's going on. But I'll explain it the best I can, so this way, in case you are a little bit confused, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, the whole thing with this new season is we're getting this new world, which is called the Underworld. If you guys have been watching the trailers, it's not really a spoiler. That's the concept of it. The Underworld essentially is this new game. It's not even a game, though. It's like a place that it's meant to put souls into it. Now, how that works with Kirito and how all that stuff is, I'm not going to say that, because that's too much. But if you watch the first episode, you kind of will have an idea of what's going on, because lo and behold, we have Kirito being attacked at the very end by one of the Death Gun brothers, and him being like paralyzed, poisoned, etc. So what's going to happen essentially with this new arc is Kirito is going to end up back in the Underworld, which we saw him already in the very first 30 minutes of the episode, maybe 25 minutes if you think about it, where he was you find out about the Medicube concept and the whole thing of putting someone's soul into a game, essentially, and then having it where his memories don't, they don't transfer, because he doesn't remember what happens when he wakes up and he goes back into the real world. that's the concept that I know might throw some of you off, because like I said before, again, it's not going to be fully explained yet. It's only partially explained in the first episode. It'll be more explained to episode 2, most likely, if they keep up with the tradition of how they're doing this right now. But they'll explain more about the whole concept of, you know, what the underworld is, how Kirito kind of plays into it, why he's in this new world, and why he's going to it. But, you know, if you watch the trailers, you kind of already have an idea of the gist of it, like why he's there. And again, from the first episode, you're going to probably put the pieces together. It's not a very hard puzzle to realize why he's there in this new game. But it's more than the game. It's almost, think of a living thing where we saw several characters already. Alice, for example, don't expect to see her a lot. By the way, it's not a spoiler, but like legitimately, she's not gonna show up for a while. And Yu-Gi-Oh, who's gonna be definitely one of the key factors in season 3 of Sword Art. And Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way, will become a character you will love. He will become this character where he grows exponentially in the series, and it's something that's crazy the way they do it, because Kirito is a character that hasn't really ever grown from his first, like, you know, portrayal in the series. Yu-Gi-Oh is a character that you will see grow as the series progresses. In light novels especially, you see him go from this kind of helpless boy to someone who has a little more of a backbone to someone who just kicks ass. And I'm just saying, when you guys see him in his full thing, it's gonna be, well, holy shit. But until then, you still only have the kid versions, because Kirito's mind was put into this underworld, and again, more stuff will be explained. I'm not going to explain everything because it's going to be a spoiler if I do, but it plays into it later on. There's a definite thing with it, like Alice being taken away by the Axiom Knights, as they're called, or, you know, these kind of royal knights that you'll find out more about too, and what they have to do with all the taboo concepts. By the way, taboo index will be another big element. Like you saw in this episode with Yu-Gi-Oh's eye going into this thing, System Alert, when he tried to go against the taboo index to save Alice when she was taken away by the knight. It's going to be a big thing. Like, the biggest thing about this whole thing, almost think of it like as a set of laws, and it's going even further than just a set of laws. You'll get into it. Like I said, there are parts of me I have to make sure I'm very careful what I say, because I don't want to spoil it. But I will say right now, for the first episode, let's get into the actual review of it. Not only was the animation incredible, this is, wow, like, A1 Pictures, holy shit, you knocked it out of the park with this. Sword Art Online Season 3 looks incredible already. It looks like the movie. The first episode looked like the movie in many ways. I mean, the action, we went to Gun Gale Online for a little bit, that looked spectacular. By the way, Shinon, another character you won't see very often, Elizabeth, Silica, all these characters, don't expect them. I'm just, that's a spoiler in its own right, but it's something that I know some people always wish they see Silica again. They wish they see Shinon. I love Shinon. She's like my ultimate waifu from this series. I love Asuna too, but Shinon's like, come on. But you won't see them very much. You'll see them occasionally. That's the best way I could put it. And there's even a joke on one of the books in the back of it, which I should have brought out for this. It would have been funny, but on the back of one of them, it has Silica and Lisbeth in their, like, I think, Gun Gale Online outfits going, can we have more screen time? And they're not going to. But there's a reason for that. Even Asuna, let's be honest with you, Asuna kind of plays a backseat too, and you'll understand more as the series goes on. But the first episode did this really great job of kind of setting you into the world of SAO once again, but at the same token, not making it where, like, oh, I haven't seen it in, you know, a year or 2 years, I'm going to be lost. No, it really kind of reintroducing these characters without having to really bash them back into your head, like, oh, Kirito's a survivor of Sword Art. I was expecting that almost in one way, where they're going to talk about how he survived Sword Art again, or how he did this, or how he was the savior of Aincrad, etc. They didn't do any of that. They played it off very nicely, where you just, everything kind of meshes together, almost assuming that you've seen the movie, assuming you're a fan of the series, assuming all these things. But that's a good thing, because guess what? The people that are watching Season 3 are fans. They're people who have seen the series. You don't want to get rehashed into the whole series again, do you? No, that'd be annoying as hell. So, I mean, I'm glad the way they did it. It's a good idea. But, you know, I'm happy about that. And I'm really happy about how everything's going on. The opening song, which was used at the ending song, is amazing. Lisa always does a great job with their music. This one is freaking, like, oh my god, I could really listen to it like 1,000 times. But yeah, you know, everything about the first episode was amazing. I honestly have nothing bad to say about it, and I'm just actually looking forward to what we see from the rest of it. I want to see how they adapt the light novel, and if they change anything or kind of alter things, because there are things I kind of hope get altered from the actual light novel series and in terms of the anime. Like, there's some elements that I wish would kind of get skipped over and aren't needed. Right now, they went almost blow by blow of what the line level talked about in the very first like half of the volume, like 85% of the volume, which is not a bad thing. But I'm like, there are some volumes later on that I'm like, you don't need all of that definition. You can avoid some of this and skip over this or kind of gloss over it. So we'll get to see that. But anyways, guys and girls, I will now leave the comments up to you to tell me, what did you like about Season 3 of Sword Art Online Episode 1? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? What do you expect from the season? And by the way, if you are like me and you've read the light novels, please don't spoil anything for other people that I think. If I see that, I'm going to delete those comments. I always tell people that. You guys are pretty good not doing that, but I do have sometimes an occasional person who will say something stupid and kind of spoil something. If I see that, I'm going to delete that immediately. It's not necessary. Alright? But I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy this review. I hope you guys come back to the channel. I know I haven't done a lot of reviews lately. I know that for the most part my videos have been getting a lot of hate because they're not my review styles anymore. I'm sorry about that. Work is kind of hard, and the thing is, besides that, I have 2 jobs now technically, so doing YouTube as a secondary is even a pain in the ass in its own right. But we'll see how this works. We'll see if I can make this work. I'm going to try doing at least 1 show or 2 from the season. I will have My Hero Academia. I'll have reviewed probably not tomorrow, but probably Monday. And I also do have a retro anime review coming out probably in a few days also after that. I'll talk to you guys then. God bless you all. Have a great day. You know what to do if you liked the video. Bye bye.